traded for the draft pick.
He could be selling at an all-time low, right? Because he's coming off an injury. We just got done talking up Aaron Glenn and how they've developed undrafted guys. I'd at least like to see Aaron Glenn coach a healthy Jeff Okudah to see if he can live up to some of the billing as a number 3 pick.
Well, and I don't necessarily need to see him live up to the number 3 pick because
some of it.
But some of it, because whether he was overdrafted or not it doesn't matter anymore. You want to get the most out of a player and find a way to make him productive on this defense. I think there is that possibility. He can be a productive player. Is he going to ever live up to number 3?
Probably not, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Dave and Troy, you're on 97.1.
Hey, guys.
Good morning.
Long-time listener. Hey, I hear what you guys are saying with this winning culture thing, but I got to tell you, being a fan for over 40 years here, we've arguably had a culture of losing. And, let's put it in perspective. It's one game. Every time the Lions win a game or win a few games, we hear all the hype. And, frankly, the Cardinals weren't on their game. And how many people were on the Cardinals? How many players were actually, out from COVID?
Dave, be careful playing that card because you know what Detroit's putting out there on Sundays. It's not like their roster's at full capacity, and I think that's a...
Well,
Dave,
that's my point. That's my point. It's mediocrity that was playing mediocrity at the time. Now, hats off to Dan Campbell. He's making lemonade out of lemons. Good job.
Dave, let me ask you a question. I agree with your perspective, and that's why I want to ask you this question, because saying that they're building a winning culture, it's a tough sell because of the life that we've all lived as Lions fans. But do you believe that at this point of the season, of this Detroit Lions, this regime, and it's Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, that there is something that can be built upon moving forward to next year?
Well, there's momentum. You can build on momentum, but there's a lot of moves to make in order to capitalize on momentum.
Fully agree.
Do they have the ability to do that? Frankly, people knock Lions fans. We've been going to games for years and season ticket holders for years. Let me tell you, it's entertaining. The reason it's entertaining is we've seen so many spectacular games. There's every way to lose, the Lions have lost. In the cases where, you don't expect to win, they pull out a win. It's an amazing entertainment venue, and I believe that's why a lot of people go. So it's a culture of entertainment. That's Detroit, the Motor City.
Hey, Dave, I appreciate the phone call. And to be clear, I'm not beating my chest saying they have a winning culture. I'm asking a question if people are seeing any signs of it, because that was a lot of the talk yesterday. And ultimately, what does that look like? What are we looking for?
Are they laying the foundation?
Right. Heather with the news.
All right, you guys. So the MHSAA just announced this statewide initiative to raise money for the Oxford victims. This is pretty cool. So the association revealed that they're going to have shirts, they're going to have sweatshirts that are going to be sold. I know the t-shirts are going to be sold for $20. I don't know how much the sweatshirts are going to be, but for $20, they're going to have the Oxford Strong slogan across the front, and then proceeds will go to those who have been affected by the shooting. And the association says they're teaming up with 3 Detroit conferences as well for this fundraiser, and they're asking everyone to wear their shirts throughout the month of February, but particularly on February 4th, which has been designated as Oxford Strong Day. So you can buy it through schools, or individuals can go buy it. It's at supportoxfordstrong.com is where they'll be available.
Pretty good deal, too, by the way. Like, we say $20 for a sweatshirt?
I don't know the price of the sweatshirts.
Okay.
That's for the t-shirt, but they will have sweatshirts, too. I just don't know how much those will be. I'm sure those are going to be...
Regardless of good cause.
Without a doubt. I'm sure they'll be a little bit more than $20, but either way, very, very cool. So a teacher at Jefferson Middle School in St. Clair Shores is facing a charge of false report or threat of terrorism after she allegedly wrote and then passed out those threatening notes in school last week. Now, this is a felony charge, up to 20 years in prison potentially. So this teacher was arrested last Friday after she was seen on school surveillance video. So that's what they reviewed to determine who was doing this. She was slipping these handwritten notes. She slipped it under the door of a classroom, into the library, and at a media center. And at least one of the notes was definitely threatening in nature. And this one note said, "Start break early. He's gonna do it. Just don't be in the hall after lunch." Boom. Get it?
So
How does she deny? I mean, you're on camera.
well,
That's you. That's
but
the note.
it's-
I mean,
it's-
maybe she
Did
wants
she
to
not
claim she
write
didn't
the
write it.
notes?
Yeah.
Did somebody be like, "Oh, these are Christmas cards, hand these out"? But it's still
for a veteran teacher, you said earlier, 21 years. There's got to be more that we haven't heard. I mean, I understand the context, especially the timing, and I got to believe that after 21 years, there's got to be something else. There's got to be an explanation. It just doesn't make any sense.
it would seem that way when you really think about it, but
Yeah.
you never
I don't know what
know.
that would be.
You never know what happens. I would love to hear way more details. Yeah, during her arraignment on Monday, when they were reading aloud what this note said, she actually spoke up and she's like, "That's not true, that's not true, that's not true." And then she got in trouble for speaking up, and her attorney had to tell her to not say that. So I'm sure we're going to learn a little bit more.
We're going to
but
find out more.
yeah, can't be doing that. This is really interesting. A Warren man pulled up alongside a Michigan State police officer who was actually working speed enforcement at the time last week, and he confessed to a shooting at his apartment. He really needed to get it off of his chest. So this guy, apparently he admitted that he shot up his apartment in Warren. Like I said, he wanted to turn himself in. So this officer was actually on westbound I-696 at the time. He was looking for speeders when this car just pulled up to him and, "Hey, I got to tell you something." So this officer who was doing the speed enforcement said the man was detained for a moment while Warren police actually went to his apartment to check it out. And they said that while they were there, they found multiple bullet holes in his door to his apartment, and they also found a firearm in his vehicle. So he was taken into custody.
How weird does that have to be for that officer? He's like calling this in. You guys aren't going to believe this.
You're right, exactly. I didn't have to do anything. This guy just showed up. Crazy, so crazy. This is also crazy. There is a Grosse Pointe Farms family that is hoping a thief can make their holiday season a little bit brighter. Apparently, somebody stole a whole bunch of very sentimental Christmas ornaments from their home, and they're hoping that these ornaments can be returned. So the family found out that these ornaments were missing when they went to go put up the Christmas tree and start decorating it, right? And apparently these are very, very unique ornaments. Not only are they sentimental, they've been handed down from generation to generation, but apparently, according to the family, they're worth about $60,000.
Wow. What are they, like diamond encrusted ornaments?
Gold-plated.
The good stuff.
So they didn't notice until they went to put the Christmas tree up. Do they know when they were stolen?
Well, great question. They believe, apparently the house had been on the market. They believe that the ornaments were stolen when the house was listed. So there were people in and out of the home, whether they were looking at the house or whether it was maybe a real estate agent or somebody who had helped list the house. But they believe that's when the Christmas ornaments were stolen. And they're actually offering a reward to anyone who returns the ornaments, and they won't ask any questions. That's how much these ornaments mean to the family. They say, yes, they're very valuable, but it's more of those memories that you can't get back.
The leading suspect is a green, furry individual that came in through the chimney and lives in the mountains.
Well,
More on that later.
Hopefully his heart will grow, three sizes.
Before Christmas.
Before Christmas, and they'll get it back. This is I'm going to do this one quickly.
Go for it.
There's another great story about a Good Samaritan in Ohio who actually received an award after he answered an 87-year-old woman's calls for help at a Kroger. So this man, there was a man at a Kroger who tried to steal this old lady's purse while she was in line at the checkout. And this Good Samaritan, Deshaun Presley, he jumped into action. He chased down this purse snatcher, chased him out of the Kroger into the parking lot, and then basically held him down until he could be arrested. And his heroic actions got him this award. And during this ceremony, as he was given this award, he kind of talked about how surprised the purse snatcher was.
And was the guy surprised to see you?
Yes, because he was looking back. He was running and looking back. And I was like, yeah, I'm on that.
Yes.
Heather with the news. Lions head coach Dan Campbell minutes away. 97-1. All right, FanDuel Sportsbook, how's $7 million in gifts over 7 days sound? Right now, Charles Barkley is giving away all holiday greetings and gifts with FanDuel Sportsbook. Over $7 million in prizes the next 7 days. New and existing users, open a FanDuel Sportsbook app every day between December 21st and December 27th, and you get a new gift from good old Chuck. Live betting, best in the game. Fast payouts, all kinds of options, odds boosts, programs. It's all there. FanDuel towers above the competition. If you want to play, you want to get involved, it's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code ticket. And don't forget, your first time bet, you can get a risk-free bet up to $1,000. You bet, you win, you cash. You lose, they refund you in site credit. It's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code ticket. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code ticket. 21 and up, present in Michigan. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expire in 7 days. Max bonus $10. Restrictions do apply. You can check those out. Sportsbook.fanduel.com. If you have a gambling problem, 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. FanDuel Sportsbook, the official partner of the team.
You want to beat the books? Let's talk a little NFL. Football fans know that the Minnesota Vikings have been one of the biggest disappointments in the league this year, but the question is why? Well, because they get out fast and they vomit on themselves late. So let that piece of info be your guide on how to bet them. As of week 14, the Vikings are 10-3 against the spread in first halves this year, which ties as the best in the NFL. Full game stayaways, first half hammers. I'm Trista Crick, helping you beat the books.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I'd like to carry more parts at my shop, but I just don't have the room. Every time I go in the back to get wiper blades, I trip over a double crate of Honda air filters, then bang my head on some GTO radiator hoses. eBay Motors never has that problem. They stock all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, with everything from new headlights to vintage gear shifters. I can't imagine being able to stock 122 million parts. I mean, where would I get all those shelves? eBay Motors. Let's ride.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. The holiday season is all about giving, and that's why Hall Financial is giving you the gift of a free appraisal. Get started with your free appraisal now at 866-CALL-HALL or chat with us online at callhallfirst.com.
Want to bet? Barstool Sportsbook at Greektown Casino Hotel is open, and the Barstool Sportsbook app is live. Greektown and Barstool are your ticket to all the action and real-time odds with 40 24-hour betting kiosks, a live walk-up window, and now the Barstool Sportsbook app. Placing your bets at the casino or at home has never been easier. Get in on all the action and earn My Choice rewards with every bet. It's all here at the Barstool Sportsbook at Greektown Casino Hotel and the Barstool Sportsbook app. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117.
Winter is just around the corner, so get that fire in your fireplace going. Sit back and relax in your recliner. Smell that delicious pot of chili on the stove, and turn on the game of the week. From the first snap of the game, you're hooked. Every pass, every play, every fumble, and every interception keeps you wanting more. We cheer as loud as we can every time our team scores a touchdown. These are the moments we live for. There's nothing better than football. So celebrate a little louder this season. Put those feet up and enjoy the game. You've earned it. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers are changing the game with the Chevy Silverado. With the most functional bed of any pickup, Silverado is the perfect tool for all your jobs. Add in the available power up-down tailgate, and Chevy Silverado is up for any challenge as the most advanced Silverado ever. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. With just one spray of Microban 24, your hard surfaces are sanitized for up to 24 hours. Touch after touch after touch.
So 6 hours from now?
Still sanitized.
12 hours?
Yep.
18 hours.
We're really doing this.
24 hours.
When used as directed, one spray of Microban keeps killing 99.9% of bacteria touch after touch for, up to 24 hours.
Wow.
Microban 24. The sanitizer 4 out of 5 doctors would use in their own homes. So why aren't you?
When others treat your fries as an afterthought, all you're left with are cold, soggy fries. That's why Wendy's new fries are ones you won't forget. Guaranteed to be hot and crispy, or we'll replace them. We're talking natural cut, skin-on fries, perfectly seasoned with a hint of sea salt. In fact, they're even preferred almost 2-to-1 Detroit Chevy dealers. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
He said, "Welcome to Detroit," after the Lions beat the Cardinals on Sunday, convincing 30-12. Jim Costa in for Stoney today. Stoney and Jansen mornings. Lions head coach Dan Campbell joining us. Dan, validation, satisfaction, what's going through your head after a game like that?
Well, yeah, it feels pretty good when you feel like we hit all the objectives that we do. You tell your guys there's a way to beat this team, and they let it come to life. They make it come to life. They do everything they need to do, and they make it flourish. And it feels pretty good when all of it comes together.
And you mentioned they hit all the objectives, and where did it come from? Because you mentioned before that the margin is so small. You almost have to play a perfect game, yet it wasn't a perfect game. There was still a fumble. There were still times where you weren't able to convert and stay on the field. Where did this win come from?
Man, I think what really set the tone for this game was just the way we were able to come out and establish a good drive early in that game and convert on third down, something we haven't done a very good job of all year offensively. And like, we knew we needed to possess the ball, we needed to move it, we needed to set a tone in the run game. And at times, there were, when the time was right, take shots in the pass game, and because you don't want that offense on the field over there. That's an explosive offense. That quarterback, everything, and for us to do that with almost a 9-minute drive and convert on third down and keep them over there, I thought was huge. And then just on the flip side, for our defense to come out after an onside kick that we didn't get, and for them to go 3 and out, I just thought set the tone, which puts the offense back on the field. We convert third downs, go down, hit a shot to St. Brown for a touchdown, you're up 10-0. And now you're cooking pretty good. So I just think we got off to a fast start and did things right early in that game, and it was pretty sustainable.
Yeah, Dan, the defense really stood out to me. John referenced the fumble. Very next series, you guys get a big interception, leads to a touchdown, goes from what could have been a 7-point game to a 21-point game. And on defense, it's not like you had all your guys back there playing in their natural positions. Lou Anzalone and Woods in the game. Will Harris is playing outside corner. What can you say about the defensive effort, even in game, making those adjustments?
Listen, I think AG is a hell of a coach. I think his staff has done a phenomenal job. And those players have bought in, man. They're all in. And they know what they have to do each and every week. But they knew what they needed to do here. And look, I thought Charles Harris set the tone early in that game. And then it just kind of, reverberated through the rest of these guys and our defense and our team for that matter. But losing Alex hurt, but I mean, thank goodness we had Reeves back too this week, because man, he stepped up in a big way, and he really, he put a lot of things on his shoulders and helped us out, which was huge. And then I said this yesterday, and I still believe it, the biggest play of the game to me was Amani's interception, because it didn't give him a chance to breathe. I mean, that's when, you guys know momentum changes in every game. It does, and that was a chance for them to gain some momentum back, and we didn't let them get it. So that was outstanding.
Yeah, you mentioned that sudden change. You give the fumble, then all of a sudden you get it back. How big has Amani, and I'm going to call him like you did post-game because it's hard to say his last name, Amani 2-4, how big has he been for this defense?
Oruwariye?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Listen, he's been huge, and just to see his confidence climb throughout the year, I feel like he's just gotten better and better, and he's playing at a high level. His ball skills are outstanding, and he's been steady as a rock for us, and that's saying a lot for where we've been this year with all the different things that we've had going on with his team. He's been one of the steady factors and consistent producers for us. So huge play, man.
Let's flip over to the offense real quick, because how much of Craig Reynolds' performance on Sunday was Craig Reynolds, and how much of it was just being behind a damn good offensive line?
Well, look, I'll say this first. Craig has got some ability. Craig has definitely got some ability. That is for sure. He's shown the ability to do some things in the run game. We like the kid a lot. We've liked him, but that old line now is pretty good. It's pretty good, and our two tackles now can collapse an edge, if you will, and then certainly Big D pulling and doing some of the things he does, and then Evan's been solid, consistent, steady. And look, I thought Tommy Kramer stepped in there and did well. I thought he rebounded from the Chicago game where he got a start, and I thought he played much better this game. And so that old line, I thought did some really good things. And also Matt Nelson, who was our jumbo tight end, he helped out a lot, and then Kabinda. So it was the group, but that old line now is doing some good stuff.
Checking in with Lions head coach Dan Campbell. And Dan, a lot of talk about you taking over the play calling responsibilities. Are you getting into a groove with that? Is this something you could see yourself doing long term?
Well, I would say, yeah, I know I'm getting more comfortable. I feel like every week it's just gotten a little bit clearer. For me, I see things a lot faster. I can stay a step or two ahead of what's next, and I feel like I'm growing. And look, when you're able to convert like we did the other day, man, it really helps. It helps as a play caller too, because now you can start opening it up a little bit. You can really get through everything you want in the game plan to figure out, where you're trying to expose the defense or get looks for this so that you can counter in a few plays later. Kabinda's touchdown was one of those. We had gotten enough heavy looks and different runs, these things, to where you knew it would be there. So, but yeah, I am. But that's a credit to the staff and those players too. Those guys, they help you with everything, certainly. So,
when you look, coming off of this game, and we talked a little bit last week about, the number of guys that were out because of injury, number of guys that were out because of whether it was contact tracing, COVID, however you want to describe it. You've got this good win, this great win. And then yesterday you get the news that Matt Nelson, Jared Goff, they're put in COVID protocol. It's got to be frustrating to try and continue to manage a roster in such a difficult time.
Well, you know what? You're not going to believe me when I tell you this, but honestly, I wasn't even upset, because to me it was like, yeah, this is the next thing up. And it's been that way. Like, I'm not even surprised by it. I'm not. And it's almost like, well, at least we only had 2 guys out. But no, that's just, I feel like that's where we're at, man. Like, something's coming, what's next? What's the next shoe to drop? And let's deal with it and go. So I almost just kind of laugh at it. Like, that's about right. That's where we're at. So we'll find a way. We'll move on. Certainly those 2 players have been big for us. Obviously, Goff coming off a great game. I thought his best that he's had with us. Man, he really stepped up. And you know what? So we probably won't happen this week, or we'll see what happens, and we'll have Boyle and Blau ready to go.
Dan, I saw the Broncos are self-quarantining or isolating like their 3rd string quarterback just because they want to have a guy in the emergency situation. Do you guys have an emergency quarterback or a special plan? Because you just don't know how this thing spreads.
It's a good question. Yes, but I would say that it may not be a true quarterback per se, but it's someone that can function in the quarterback role, if you will.
Someone who played Pop Warner?
Could be. He could have played Pop Warner. He could have.
Dan, I'm not afraid to ask a potentially dumb question here. A lot of talk on the station yesterday about the win yesterday, but also losing the number 1 pick. Do you have any reaction or thoughts on that, losing out on the number 1 pick?
No, I mean, that's not, I mean, think about it for a minute. You want me to go in front of these guys and say, hey guys, we're just going to go and see if we can lose this game so we keep the number one pick. I mean, that makes no sense. And so I understand the frustration for some looking down the road, but man, when you're a coach and you're playing and you're in this moment, it's all about winning and competing, and that's what we're in it for. So I know we got a damn good GM, and he'll find a way to get good players on this team, no matter where we're sitting.
So 2-3-1 in the last 6. Can you look at this and say we're showing improvement? And I want to follow up with how important would it be to actually get a win on the road in these final 2 road trips?
Look, I think it would be big. We'd like to believe that we're starting to figure some things out here now, and we're doing it with different guys. We're doing it with guys that are getting opportunities to play, and other guys. Craig Reynolds is he's a great. It's just a great look at a guy who gets an opportunity to make the most of what he's getting, and here he is. And we have a number of those guys that are doing that. I mean, so across the board. And so I think us just continuing to improve, see if we can find a way to win with the guys that are getting the opportunities and just continue to grow. But I mean, man, now we're getting a little taste of what it's like to win and what you have to do. Now, can we go on the road, to your point, Atlanta, and do this? I mean, let's take it one game at a time, but that's our plan. Let's find a way to win these next 3.
When people look for signs of a winning culture, we'll get you out of here on this. What do you look for as a head coach to say, beyond wins and losses, that as this season comes to a wrap, you feel like you've done your job setting the organization up for future success?
Yeah, I think, again, are we finishing stronger than we started? And do we have a group of guys and just coaches, a coaching staff, an environment that is set up for winning? Guys that are resilient, they don't give up, they don't quit, they want to improve, they want opportunities. Losing frustrates them, motivates them. All those, I think to me that's it. We said it from day one. Look, we've had a ton of losses this year, but the worst thing you can do is go numb. Because when you go numb, you don't care anymore. You just kind of get through it. And I don't feel like we're there. I feel like these guys have tasted every loss and they've let it hurt. And I think they just continue to come back in and go to work and try to win.
And I know working on Christmas is nothing new as a player, as a coach, but hey, you and your family, I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas as you travel on Christmas Day. And just want to say thanks for joining us throughout the season. We got more weeks to go, but Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you guys too. I appreciate it, man.
That's Lions head coach Dan Campbell. A Merry Christmas to him. Hear from him every week right here on Stoney and Jansen. It's 97.1.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center. Mostly clear on the drive this morning, although there is an issue down in Monroe County. 275 northbound at I-75 is currently closed due to an accident. Then just seeing a little bit of a slowdown, 90 for westbound near 12 Mile. Coming up today, southbound 75 exit ramp to Clark Street in Southwest Detroit is scheduled to close for construction through mid-January. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
TJ Lang joins Stoney and Jansen Mondays at 9 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, you want to get away, relax, have a great time? The best place is Las Vegas. That's right. And if you're going to Las Vegas for a lot of fun, where do you want to go? Where you can get the best bang for your buck, and that's downtown at the D Las Vegas. You book a room today, thed.com. You won't be sorry. Great food. Joe Vicari's Andiamo Italian Steakhouse right there at the D. You want something a little more casual? They got American Coney Island as well. You want to golf when you're in Vegas? They'll set you up with great tee times at all the great courses in Las Vegas. The Long Bar, lots of fun. The bartenders put on a great show. They got the dancing dealers dancing for you while you're playing at the tables. There's so much. New sports book, Bar Canada, downtown. It's a great, great experience. We go all the time. And once a year, we love it. Book your room today, thed.com, your home for Detroit sports in Las Vegas.
This is former Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. The COVID-decimated Browns were 3 seconds from first place in the AFC North yesterday. Third-string quarterback Nick Mullins played admirably, rallying a jerry-rigged lineup to a late fourth-quarter lead. Then Daniel Carlson kicked a 48-yard field goal that gave the Raiders a 16-14 walk-off win. Now, Vegas long shot playoff hopes remain alive, while Cleveland faces a much steeper climb. I'm Boomer Esiason.
This report is sponsored by The Cheesecake Factory. For every $50 gift card purchased at thecheesecakefactory.com or a Cheesecake Factory restaurant by December 31st, you'll receive a $15 promo card redeemable in the new year. Visit thecheesecakefactory.com for details.
Hey, Ray Magliozzi here. I don't know about you, but my car could use a few upgrades. I mean, the 8-inch chair in the driver's seat does have sentimental value since my butt has molded to fit it, but I'm ready to move on. My solution? eBay Motors. They've got all the right parts at the right prices. 122 million of them, from seat covers to whole new seats. When I get that new seat, I think I'll put the old one in the living room, right next to the minivan seats, or as we call it, the sectional. eBay Motors. Let's ride.
This report is sponsored by The Cheesecake Factory. For every $50 gift card purchased at thecheesecakefactory.com or a Cheesecake Factory restaurant by December 31st, you'll receive a $15 promo card redeemable in the new year. Visit thecheesecakefactory.com for details.
The holidays are a great time of year, and so are the values during our Big Finish sales event at Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Hi friends, Bill Golling here telling you about the great lease programs going on this month. For example, qualified Chrysler employees can lease a 2022 Jeep Compass Limited 4x4 for just $256 a month. Leases for 39 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down. Again, hurry before it all ends, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from Golling Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, and online at golling.com.
It's the holiday season, folks, and with actual places to go and people to see this year, you need a connection that'll keep you covered at home and on the go. Luckily, Xfinity Internet delivers reliable coverage at home. And Xfinity Mobile, with nationwide 5G included, covers you everywhere else. Plus, you can save up to $400 a year on your wireless bill. So the only thing you'll need to worry about,
Long time no see.
is remembering what your friends look like.
It's me.
Right? How's that hobby and or job you have?
Get started with Xfinity Internet for $20 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. Add Xfinity Mobile, and you could save up to $400 a year on wireless over AT&T. Plus, ask how to get a 5G phone on us. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and auto-pay with stored bank account. Ends 12/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares pricing of top carriers. Xfinity Internet required.
Here's why I enjoy sports betting. It kind of gives you some skin in the game, as BetMGM likes to say.
You know you're a sports bettor when you're tuning in to watch a UConn football game.
Chelsea Messenger and Michael Jenkins from the Daily Tip, presented by BetMGM.
That's some bad football, but if you have some skin in the game, all of a sudden you're invested in it, and then you look at the games from a different perspective.
All the insight you need to bet smarter is at BetQL.com. And listen to the Daily Tip streaming weekday mornings from 6 to 9 Eastern on Odyssey.
Did you know there's more than one Las Vegas? There's the Strip with families on vacation and questionable odds. Then there's downtown Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay at thed.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
It's the best Christmas music from Frank Sinatra to Bruce Springsteen. Songs the whole family can sing along with. Search Classic Christmas on the Odyssey app to listen now. Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar. Now, text or call the ticket using the same number. Ticket text 248-539-9797.
A question to ask Campbell about a decision that he made in the game that was pivotal and questionable and head-scratching. For the first time all year, it felt like really no room to criticize the head coach. They won convincingly.
They did, and you just wish that it didn't take until week 14, 15, but it did.
But who's counting?
It was nice to be able to talk to Dan after a win, which we've had that experience, but there was also controversy in that game, the Minnesota game, and to finally be able to talk to him after a win it was a no-doubter. Like, it didn't come down to a, no timeouts, 2-minute drive with 1:50 left and Jared Goff. And there's some great things that we could talk about there, but I think it was important too that he mentioned that after the course of that they have gone throughout this year, that getting the information that Jared Goff, Matt Nelson are added to the COVID list, and we don't know if they're going to be available or not. It didn't sound very hopeful from listening to Dan, but you know what? It's what's up next. And we're just going to keep moving forward. There's only 3 weeks left in the season for this team, and you could also use this as a positive, like he mentioned, for the running backs that have gotten a great opportunity. There's a lot of guys that have gotten a great opportunity. We're also may get another chance to see Tim Boyle, and the big arm that we keep talking about or thinking that he has. We haven't seen it. It's an opportunity to get him on the field.
Stoney's dream. Here it comes.
Yes. Exactly.
A Christmas miracle. No, I don't. I'll be honest. For as much as Goff has struggled this season, I don't understand the go to the backup QB. Like, there is a drop-off from Goff to Boyle or Blau.
Oh, sure, there's no question. But now we're going to be forced with...
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. And I think if you're Campbell, what are you going to say? Like, you have to prepare like you don't have Goff until you know that you do have Jared Goff. I think there's a little more optimism with the new NFL COVID protocols, where he doesn't have to necessarily miss as much time. He doesn't need 2 negative tests in consecutive days. He can do it on
a runny nose.
We don't know, I guess. Maybe that's part of it. I mean, that's the deal here. But, my thought is, outside of the game where Goff was clearly injured, the backup QB has always been kind of a low-hanging fruit. Hey, go to the backup QB. Most teams don't have a capable backup quarterback.
No, but what we're trying to find out this year is, what do we have? Because we're talking about foundation, right? And if you're building a foundation, what do you have moving forward? And, okay, we know what we have in Jared Goff. And I think most people believe that he's not the long-term answer. Well, if he's not, you're not going to pay Jared Goff $20, $30 million a year to be a backup. And if Tim Boyle is the guy that's supposed to be your backup, what do you have in Tim Boyle? What happens if your future starting quarterback is down for a week or down for 2 weeks? Is Tim Boyle the guy that can come in and do it? We got to find that out.
Is Stoney a big Tim Boyle guy?
I think Stoney is just want to see what... I think the same thing I'm saying. Just wants to see what we have.
He just was kind of like a throw things at the wall and see what, and see what
sticks.
Have. Yes. Yeah. And then probably the next day would complain, guys, we're just not NFL players. I would be very Stoney to complain about the thing for which he called for.
Yes. But, when you're talking about, Craig Reynolds, and the fact that, they like him, obviously. They think he can be productive. He can be a depth guy in the backfield. And we talk about, Quintus Cephas, who's not there right now, could be a depth guy at the receiver position. Amon-Ra St. Brown could be a number 3. We're all talking about the depth of the team. We're not talking about the playmakers that we think that we hope the Lions will acquire, whether it's through the draft or through free agency over the next 1 to 2 off seasons.
248-539-9797. The Lions won in convincing fashion. Left, no doubt. There was a clear buy-in from players, regardless of their win-loss record. At the playoffs, you couldn't dangle that carrot anymore. There was clear buy-in, regardless of the prior results on the field. Is that true of the fans? Is Dan Campbell winning you over with a 2-11-1 record? Do you like what you're seeing out of the head coach? We've watched some game management issues. It's been a mess. We've also seen him get these guys to play every single week, and no more obvious than this week with nothing to play for. Are you looking past some of the bad? Are you looking at Dan Campbell in a different light? Is he winning you over? 248-539-9797. It's 97.1.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. An Odyssey station. Sports headlines. All day, every day. From the Sold by 5C Sports Desk. This is 97.1. The Ticket.
By Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Hit by the effects of the virus again, the Lions putting quarterback Jared Goff on the COVID list after his 3-touchdown performance and a win over the Cardinals. Tackle Matt Nelson also put on reserve, although they do get Jamal Williams and Mark Gilbert back. The team also signing running back Craig Reynolds to the 53-man roster after his 112-yard performance against Arizona. And Coach Dan Campbell says the team is feeling the positive effects of their victory.
Well, I just think there again, they understand, man, when you put in the work and you trust the game plan and you trust yourself and you trust your teammates, and we do things a certain way, man, good things can happen. And there is a way to win in this league.
To hoops, Michigan State getting a bump in the AP Top 25, moving up from 12 to 11 in the poll. Baylor, Duke, and Purdue remain in the top 3. Final scores on the hardwood. The Spartans women get a school record 50-point performance from Nia Clouden to beat Florida Gulf Coast 85-84 in double overtime. On the men's side, Notre Dame beating Western Michigan at home 85-52, and Eastern falling at Valparaiso 67-55. The NHL also planning to shut down early after conversations with the union. They'll enter the holiday break early after a couple of games tonight if they play, in an attempt to slow the spread of COVID throughout the league. The Red Wings had already had their week's worth of games postponed days ago. Their next game is set for Monday the 27th. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Chris Villar from our Stay Tuned to 97.1 The Ticket and Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Numbers 248-539-9797. Stoney's got the holiday week off. Jim Costa's sitting in his place. Dan Campbell, likable guy, no doubt about it. You listen to him every week. You listen to the post-game locker room celebrations. Incredibly likable guy. For much of the season, there have been questionable in-game decisions. Situational game awareness has not been strong. But they continue to play hard for the guy. And I wonder if that's symbolic of where Lions fans are at right now. Is he winning you over despite some of the headaches and the heartaches this season? That's a question that you got to answer for yourself. And John, I wonder where you're at as well.
Well, and I'll ask the question too, is he winning you over because you believe not only is the team showing some signs of improvement, and some young players are showing improvement, but Dan Campbell himself is showing some improvement. Now, there were a lot of tough calls in a 30-12 victory over the Arizona Cardinals. Early in the game, yes, the onside kick, and you can say, well, I liked the aggressive nature. I like the fact that he understands his team, and he understands the fact that they need points. They need lots of points if they're going to try and win, and lots of opportunity. He's trying to create those opportunities, whether it's going for it on fourth down, it's the onside kicks, it's some of those things that you say he's creating opportunities for his team. But there weren't a lot of fourth and short, got to get this, and it wins the game. If we don't get it, we got a chance of losing the game in the past week.
There weren't make or break calls against the Cardinals. I would say the onside kick early, he did it against the Rams. It seemed to be something he wants to bust out when he knows.
But he's got an opportunity to attack.
Yes, but also when you know who you're playing against. I mean, it's opponent specific, right? And I want to see more of that, because my concern and my reservations have been like when they played Cleveland and they punt the ball back to the number one rushing team with 2.5 minutes to go in the game. Sorry, know your opponent. That's bye-bye. You waved the white flag. That was not situational awareness. And we've had too many moments like that caused me to pause.
Yeah, and so he's winning me over in regards to, and here's where I hope it doesn't go too far. He is showing improvement at calling plays offensively. You heard him there in the interview. The game was slowing down for me. He wasn't hired as a play caller. He was hired as a head coach. He hired an offensive coordinator. Things weren't working out or going as planned, as he had planned, so he took those responsibilities over. Calling plays for an NFL offense, even for a college offense, it's not something that you can just pick up overnight. And I'm hoping that he's not getting so much confidence in his ability to call plays that he doesn't go out and allow somebody else to do that. I still think they need an offensive coordinator to be the guy that does that, that's trained to do that. I don't think Dan Campbell is that guy. Can he go out and find that guy? Sure, there's a lot of good options. That's where I want to make sure that we're not getting overconfident in one win.
No, not at all. I think winning you over is different than won you over, right? Won you over means full buy-in, this dude is the dude. Winning you over is, hey, he's got a lot of work to do. And I think that's more of the camp I'm in, because, John, let's say he makes that decision to bring in a more experienced play caller, or just somebody else is calling plays next season. he still has to make the decision on fourth downs. As a head coach, he has to decide, like when they played Baltimore and decided to throttle down the offense and play for a field goal, kick a field goal, leave the door open for Justin Tucker. He made the decision with timeouts to give Lamar Jackson a freebie, right? Those are the things that as a head coach, you can't bring somebody else in to do that. That's on you. And I think for as good as he was yesterday, if we were just giving him kind of wins and losses, there would be more in the loss column in terms of what he has decided as a head coach. Regardless if they win or lose, are you putting your team in the best positions? That's why yesterday, or Sunday now, was so significant, because it was the first time all year where I came into week and said, I think he did everything he could to give his team a chance to win. I don't think there's any room to really criticize him. And I think that was significant because he needs to stack those. That needs to be the common theme moving forward.
Yeah, and obviously going into the Vikings game, their first win, the question was, if they go winless, does he get here too? And getting that first win, it somewhat stopped some of that conversation, because it's hard to keep a coach that goes, 0-16-1.
That's just a stench that makes it hard to keep around.
Right, and so he gets that first win, and I think there were a lot of people who were like, okay, I could see getting a second year, and that's different than getting one over. Now you see the game that they had against Arizona, and it is the game plan offensively, and you heard him talk about it, being able to identify the things that you need to do to beat the Arizona Cardinals. One is you've got to possess the football. They come out almost a 9-minute drive. They keep Kyler Murray and that offense off the field, and then the defense comes out 3 and out. Offense goes down, touchdown. Now you're up 10-0, and you haven't given that offense with Kyler Murray and their weapons an opportunity to gain rhythm, to gain confidence, to get anything going, to respond to what you've done offensively. And you keep them on their toes. So I think in terms of developing and executing a game plan, he's won me over more after what I saw last week, because I asked the question that TJ asked you yesterday. Do we really think that he is the one that put together that offensive game plan?
You thought it looked too good, too cohesive.
I did, because of what we had seen of him as a play caller to that point. And it was the ability to set up what you want to do on third down with calls that you're making on first and second down. And yes, you've got to get good production out of your running back. They got that out of Craig Reynolds. All of a sudden, they hit you with the play action pass. Things seem to be open. And it was a rhythm that we hadn't seen. Now, and we don't think, and nobody thinks, that an offensive coordinator puts together a game plan in a vacuum. You get contributions from your assistant coaches. How much of that contribution came from Staley? How much of that contribution came from Ben Johnson? Guys that we have heard have aspirations to be offensive coordinators, possibly head coaches at some point. I think when you're talking about a good leader, he's humble enough, and I'm just talking about a good leader. I'm not saying Dan Campbell. I'm sorry, like a good leader is humble enough to be able to look around and say, who can help my team, and who can help what we're doing be successful. I don't care where it comes from. If I need to go and talk to Deuce Staley and make sure that he is more a part of putting together this game plan, if he's more of a voice in my ear while I'm going through the play sheet to make those calls.
None at all. I think he had a quote, that's why I kind of smirked at you, that reminds me of what you're talking about. The whole, a true alpha knows when to concede. In other words, as a leader, sometimes you need to know when to listen. And what you're seeing is maybe a guy who's, in addition to speaking more on the play calls, maybe also listening more to the input, as they've made that more of a collaborative process. As you look at Dan Campbell, I found myself in the skeptical category for most of this season. I still think I'm in that camp, because I'm not going to flip the script with one game.
Let's do 11-1.
But exactly, but I think the Arizona game was so significant. I'm just speaking for myself as a Lions fan. I mean, we'll get some of these ticket texts, phones here in a second, but just speaking for myself as a Lions fan, people are saying that, well, they've done better since the bye. Since the bye, I didn't like his decision to stick with Goff in the Pittsburgh game. I didn't like his decision to kick a field goal down 6 in the fourth quarter against Cleveland and punt them the ball back in the final 3 minutes. I didn't like in Chicago on Thanksgiving, the double timeout. I didn't like the very next game, even though they won against Minnesota, giving up the lead in the final 2 minutes, conceding it. I didn't like most of what I saw in the Denver game, where he, I thought, decided to make it do or die early in the third quarter when he went for it on his own side of the field. I haven't liked a lot of what Dan Campbell has done on the field. I want to like Dan Campbell, the coach, and it's why Arizona, I think, resonated and is so significant, because I think a lot of people want to like this guy as the head coach. They want to have Mondays where we roll in and we're not dissecting whether or not he's given them the best chance to win on Sundays.
You know, has Dan Campbell won you over? Or what does he need to do? If you were in that same Jim Costa skeptical category up to, you know, going into the Minnesota game, did he do anything in that game to help say, you know what, it's a win, this team fights for him, he's starting to win me over, and then you see the Arizona game. If you're in that skeptical category, is he doing enough to win you over?
Let's go to Jimmy in Allen Park. Jimmy, some of your thoughts here on 97.1.
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Good. Yeah, I think overall, I think the coaching staff is really going to be over. You know, for example, like Aaron Glenn, I mean, we could argue that they won that game with basically, I mean, special team players, second string secondary, right? I mean, we'll call him number 24. You got
Amani 2-4.
Yeah, there we go. Amani 2-4 could be like literally the only starting player in the secondary. You know, everybody else, and they won with Will Harris at corner. I mean, okay, that for example, you know, Aaron Glenn winning with that, and then you got offensive line plug-and-play players. I mean, look at, you know, Evan Brown at center, the left guard, and then look at the running back situation. I mean, bringing in Reynolds, and so to me, the overall coaching staff is winning me over because of their ability to adjust to all these players being out, and the facts support it, right? I mean, they're playing more rookies than, you know, what, second in the league or something like that.
They were the second youngest team coming into the season, and I believe they've only gotten younger when you consider some of the veterans that they cast aside in Jamie Collins or that have been injured. They're one of the youngest, if not the youngest team.
And one of the least experienced teams.
It's a good point, because it's not just age, it's experience out there. I want to clean up some of these ticket texts. We've got Heather with the news coming up next. Heather, what do we got?
Well, I've had a lot of stories about people doing really good things lately, so I'm going to continue that trend, and I've got a great story about a Northville man that is making the holiday season a little brighter for some students.
All right, what's next? It's 97.1.
97.1, The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center. Look at the drive this morning. Things are pretty clear on most of the area freeways, although there is one issue down in Monroe County. A closure due to an accident. 275 northbound shut down in I-75 until further notice. Coming up today, 4th Street, both directions between M10 and Campus Martius. A right lane closure is scheduled between 9 and 3, and that same project scheduled for tomorrow as well. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
Necessary Roughness with former NFL lineman TJ Lang and John Jansen. Download it today on the Odyssey app.
Ho, 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 'tis the 7 days of parlays. BetMGM is celebrating the holidays by delivering parlay presents to you every day for a week. From December 19th to December 25th, BetMGM customers can unwrap free bets and risk-free wagers when they place a one-game parlay. Plus, there are plenty of parlay boost tokens and other bonuses under the tree. If you're a sports fan, you're on the nice list at the King of Sportsbooks. Not registered with BetMGM? You can sign up with the BetMGM app or go to BetMGM.com. Enjoy a piece of the holiday action. Get in the parlay spirit with 7 days of parlays at BetMGM. We got action galore with basketball, hockey, football, college bowl season, professional football. There's games on Christmas this year. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Must be 21 years or older to wager. Michigan only. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable free bets or site credit. Free bets expire in 7 days from issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help. Excludes Michigan disassociated persons.
Looking for a new career? Pro Services, an environmental cleanup company, is seeking CDL drivers to drive and operate jetpacks, vacuum trucks and tankers, and roll-off trailers. We are also seeking laborers to complete projects using equipment related tank washing, hydro excavating, emergency response, and hazardous waste cleanup. Both jobs are full-time union positions with excellent health benefits, such as Blue Cross, dental, and optical. Starting pay for drivers is up to $27.50 an hour. Laborers up to $20 an hour. For more information, visit proservices.com. That's PROS services.com.
Hi, this is Bill. And Tim, did you know there's no better time to buy or lease your next new vehicle than during the
service starting at only $2.99 a month. Visit SouthfieldChrysler.com or stop by the dealership today.
Whether you live in Birmingham, Livonia, Dearborn Heights, or Detroit, you're just a short drive away from the best car buying experience ever. And remember, all roads and all towns lead to Southfield Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram at 11 and a half and Telegraph. Happy holidays.
Before we made Caesar Sportsbook and Casino app, they pitched me that angry candy or whatever, but I passed on it. I didn't see the point. Now, why would you crush birds for nothing when you can crush real slots for money and Caesar's rewards? I mean, maybe it's me, but I want to win something when I win, people.
Must be 21. Offer valid in Michigan only and for new players. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesar.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services Gambling Disorder Helpline at 1-800-270-7117.
97.1 The Ticket and Ellison Brewery have teamed up. Introducing the Ticket American Lager and the Ticket Double Dry Hopped Hazy Pale Ale. Look for them on tap near you. Must be 21. Enjoy responsibly.
At Lowe's Winterfest, find the gifts to make more holiday. Like savings on select appliance special values, plus free local delivery over $396. Or save $60 on a DeWalt 20-volt Max brushless drill kit. Was $159, now $99. Make your season twice as nice, twice as merry at Lowe's. Home to any budget, home to any possibility. Appliance offer restrictions and other fees may apply. See store for details while supplies last. Valid through 12/22. U.S. only.
You're always up for some fun with the family, so you order the essentials, a new board game, some baking supplies, and even a new projector for outdoor movie night. And with the Bank of America customized Cash Rewards credit card, you can choose to earn 3% cash back on online shopping, which could increase to up to 5.25% as a preferred rewards member. Rewards which you can put toward an extra treat that everyone will enjoy, like an old-fashioned popcorn machine. Visit bankofamerica.com/more rewarding and apply now. Copyright 2021 Bank of America Corporation.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Your opinion matters. Call the D Las Vegas 97.1 The Ticket Studio line at 248-539-9797. Book your stay at the D by visiting thed.com. The D Las Vegas, the home of Detroit sports in Vegas.
Dan Campbell joins Stoney and Jansen Tuesdays at 7:30 on 97.1 The Ticket.
All right, before we get to Heather in the news, a couple ticket texts on whether or not Dan Campbell has won you over, if he's winning you over, where you're at with the head coach. Ticket texter says Dan Campbell is the first head coach to truly embrace the city. We're seeing progress regardless of injuries. People expect instant gratification in this world. It doesn't happen. He's the head coach for us. Patience will pay dividends. Another one says he's winning me over with how tough the team is playing, always competing and doing it against quality teams. That's Big John in Royal Oak. Texter says no room to criticize. Campbell kicked an onside kick after a first drive field goal. He got lucky. I like playing aggressive in that moment.
Yeah.
I thought he was aggressive on the 4th and 1 in the first half, which put him up 3 scores. You want to criticize, I've done quite a bit. I'm not doing it after this win. Heather with the news.
All right, I'm going to continue my stories about people doing good things because those are great stories. There's a Northville Public Schools bus driver that made the holiday season a little bit brighter for his students after he dressed up as Santa and handed out some Christmas gifts. So this bus driver, he has done the same bus route for 8 years. And he says he just loves being able to watch these kids go from elementary school to middle school to high school. And every year he apparently does this season. So he puts on the Santa suit, he goes on the bus, and he said the kids are so excited. He's like, it's like Christmas morning when he hands out these gifts. So he loves doing things like this. And he says that his wish is that one day, years from now, somebody will think of him, the students, and just remember the love that he shared and how much he really loved his job. So I just love, I don't remember any of my bus drivers. Like, they didn't make an impact on me whatsoever. I do remember there was one, there was a certain song he always played, but I don't remember him. I just remember the music.
The song?
Yeah. And this guy, though, he sounds amazing. He says every year, too, he also holds drawing contests throughout the year, and he gives the kids that win supplies that inspire creativity, and he just seems like
That's
a great
cool.
man, Mr. Ed. Yeah.
You can always do something special.
Yeah, for sure. We know the slogan, drive sober or get pulled over. More Michigan State Police troopers will be on the road looking for impaired drivers this holiday season. They're on the road right now, and these increased patrols will be in effect until January 1st. It's all part of this 2021 holiday drive sober or get pulled over campaign. And December is actually one of the most dangerous months because of increased impaired driving, and most likely because it's all of the holidays that we celebrate in December. And during the Christmas and New Year's periods, this is from 2016 to 2020, there were 84 people killed in traffic crashes here in Michigan, including 34 people who died in alcohol-related crashes. So
if you got to crash on a family member's couch, you need to use an Uber. There's Lyft. There's so many.
So easy to avoid this. Plus, I've got another cool story. If you are planning to go out and celebrate this holiday season, which you should, and if you're going to drink, you should if you want.
Yeah,
go for it. You can actually get a free ride home with AAA's Tow and Go service. This is really cool. So Tow and Go is designed as a confidential service for people who did not plan ahead and did not designate a sober driver. So you can't schedule this in advance. You can't be like, I'm going out Friday night, I'm going to plan my free ride home. This is just for when you realize, oh my goodness, I've had too much to drink, and now what do I do? And not only are they going to drive you home, they're also going to tow your vehicle to get it back to where you need it to go. But
that's because it's such a hassle the next day if you